Want to start your day off right? Get your grub from a hole-in-the-wall joint. Here's the lowdown on the USA's best-kept breakfast secrets. Tom and Joe's restaurant in Altoona, Pennsylvania is an iconic local institution, dishing up fabulous breakfasts since 1933. Named one of the 10 best roadside diners in America by USA Today in 2025, Tom and Joe's is still run by the family that owns it, and some of the current decor dates back as far as the 1950s. It's the food that's really timeless, though. As one Yelp review reads, "One of the best breakfasts we've had. Everything was cooked to perfection and so tasty." The Diner Grill in Chicago is a snapshot of a lost legacy of dining. Old, tiny, and cramped, this shotgun diner only has seating at the counter, where you can watch the line cook sling your hash 24 hours a day. Perfect for the late-night crowd, when the only cure for one too many is a pile of hash browns smothered in toppings.
Beer be gone. Get out of my system. It's happening right now.
And that's the Slinger, the ultimate hangover cure. It's been this way since the diner opened way back in 1937, although there have been a few updates to the menu since then. For example, many patrons laud the Diner Grill's breakfast burrito as a particular highlight. The Silver Skillet opened in Atlanta way back in 1956.
It's classic diner food. It's a homey atmosphere.
Even today, though, walking through those doors is like stepping back in time, making the spot a touchstone for generations of locals. Describing their experience as a big warm hug, a Yelp reviewer says, "This is probably the most enjoyable brunch experience I've had ever." Herbie's Place in Greensboro, North Carolina, is a no-nonsense greasy spoon that serves breakfast all day, thanks to its mascot, Herbie the Love Bug. This is a great place to catch sight of vintage Volkswagens, but it's an even better place to get a quick, satisfying, no-fuss breakfast. This is something the locals appreciate too. A Yelp review reads, "Great for a hangover all day and good after church service with the kids. Sit down, shut up, and eat your greasy goodness." Opened in Ypsilanti, Michigan in 1936, the Bomber restaurant got its name serving workers who were building bomber aircraft during World War II. Nowadays, a mural outside proclaims that their food is the bomb, and it ain't lying. One Yelp fan writes, "The portion sizes are huge and the food is absolutely delicious. If you're into airplanes or war history, come check out the decor." Twede's Café in North Bend, Washington is so authentic it almost seems fake. Of course, this might be due in part to the fact that it was the filming location for the Double R Diner in Twin Peaks.
You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
But don't let Hollywood fool you. Twede's Café is the real deal, and they prove this with every plate of down-home diner food that comes out of the kitchen. A Yelp reviewer writes, "The food was incredible. My husband thought they were the best eggs he's ever had." Located in scenic Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, less than 3 miles from Dollywood, Lil Black Bear Cafe is a tiny roadside shack that's easy to miss, but this family enterprise offers up big flavors for such a small package. Just make sure you also pack a really big appetite. As one satisfied Yelp reviewer says, "Everything was amazing, including breakfast sandwiches, omelets, hillbilly grits, biscuits and gravy, and the most substantial pancakes we had ever seen." The Deluxe Town Diner in Watertown, Massachusetts may be old, small, and cramped. Thanks to the legendary breakfasts it began serving in 1947, however, it has also become a local institution. Testament to this is the fact that the community donated over $82,000 in just 1 week to keep it open during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's apparently worth every penny. On Yelp, one review reads, "Not a fancy place, but truly a diamond. I am a foodie, and this place had me at my first bite." The Steer-In restaurant in Indianapolis is a certified dive with a capital D, as it was featured on Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives back in 2011.
I love these sandwiches. Good marinara sauce.
It's delicious, very cheesy.
Fieri chose to have dinner there, however, meaning he missed out on the menu that made the Steer-In a local landmark. Among the many breakfast dishes on offer, one fan favorite is the corned beef hash. In their Yelp review, one customer wrote, "Homemade corned beef hash with eggs. That is all you need to know." While another ventured, the in-house roasted corned beef hash is exceptional. Druff's Diner in Springfield, Missouri is a relative newcomer to the world of breakfast. When the tiny shotgun eatery opened in 2016, it specialized in grilled cheese sandwiches. Now, it's pivoted to breakfast sandwiches, quickly becoming a dining destination for foodies. On Yelp, one particularly besotted visitor writes, "I started my love affair with Druff some time ago. I can't tell you how this food changed my life. I couldn't stop. The wife and kids eventually got sick of me always sneaking away. I love you, Druffs." Known affectionately as the Chicken House, Peg's Countryside Cafe in Medina, Minnesota is a giant roadside shack decorated with cartoon chickens, and locals swear by the brunches here, especially owner Peggy's signature stuffed French toast. One Yelp fan says, It's their French toast made into a sandwich with egg, cheese, and sausage, and served with hash browns. The sweet and savory combination is to die for.
It's always great food, and it's always great service.
Situated in Norman, Oklahoma, the diner is a throwback in every sense of the word.
The food is awesome. It's kind of like stepping back in time.
Seating is limited, but you can grab a stool by the counter and watch your cook flip cakes on the griddle right in front of you, and the grub ain't half bad either. On Yelp, a diner writes, "The food was amazing. Meat is cooked to perfection. Love the peppers, cheese, sauces, and the hash browns as well." The Grove Café in Ames, Iowa, doesn't just provide a warm welcome.
It's just nice and quaint, and you can visit and just have a good time.
In 2011, Local Eats named it one of the 20 best breakfast restaurants in America, while Food Network has proclaimed it the best place to eat pancakes in Iowa on multiple occasions. Since it opened in 1948, Grove Café has also enjoyed a reputation among Iowa State fans as one of the best places to score some tailgating foods. But the real score here is the breakfast, with one Yelp reviewer writing, "Best pancakes I have ever had. Better than your grandma's, as good as your mom's." That's not some bawdy joke. It's the slogan of Darcy's Café in Grand Forks, North Dakota.
It's like eating at home without actually being home, so it's really nice.
It may not look like much, but this no-frills diner serves up pancakes that have become the stuff of local legend. On Yelp, one fan gushes. "The exterior is rather nondescript, but that all changes when you eat the food. I had the cinnamon roll pancake, and it was humongous and so good." The LA area is filled with trendy, bougie brunch spots, many of which come with long waits, even longer lines of influencers, and some weird concepts.
Okay, oh, be careful, please. Wow. Wow.
In San Pedro, however, locals in the know dig into old-fashioned breakfast delights at the no-frills old-school Pacific Diner. As one reviewer wrote on Instagram, "Pacific Diner in San Pedro feels like time travel. Back when breakfast was meant to be greasy, filling, and actually good. We'd like and subscribe to that kind of breakfast." Opened back in 1940, the Tel-Wink Grill in Houston, Texas, has since become a part of the city's fabric. Named one of the best diners in America by KOA, this spot is beloved for its massive menu of traditional breakfast diner options. Want breakfast with a Texas twist? Try the Tex-Mex jalapeno sausage and egg, or the catfish fillet with eggs. And don't sleep on the great service either. As one Yelp reviewer promised, the servers treat you better than mom herself. Located in St. Petersburg, Florida, Dodo's Diner is a classic old-school joint that's well-loved by the locals. Here, you'll find a wonderful mix of classic diner breakfast staples, as well as more adventurous offerings, such as scrapple and a Spanish omelet that one Yelp reviewer said was ridiculous. Meanwhile, another wrote, "The pancakes were delicious and almost melted in your mouth. I had eggs Benedict with hash browns. These were so crispy and so good." You've got to make some pretty good food to stand out in New York's crowded breakfast landscape, yet Johny's Luncheonette delivers. And then some. Located just a couple of blocks from the iconic Flatiron Building, Johny's is short on space but big on flavor. One Yelp fan writes, "The farmer's omelet was amazing, and the home fries were among the best I've had. There isn't much space inside, so you may have to wait, but it's well worth it." Named the best diner in Ohio by Business Insider in 2014, Big Al's Diner has been an iconic part of the Cleveland landscape since it opened in 1994. While space here is limited, it's more important that you make room in your stomach, as many of Big Al's specialties become instant hits with visitors. One Yelp review describes it as a quite literal hole-in-the-wall kind of place, but a fantastic one at that. The food is worth the wait. Known to locals as the Omelet House, Mariners has earned its nickname by offering over 250 different omelet options on its menu. Located in Brielle, New Jersey, this spot's delicious assortment of breakfast options landed it a feature in the New York Times, with hungry patrons packing the tiny joint for a chance at eggs over awesome. As one reviewer writes on Yelp, "Everything was cooked to perfection and I loved the portions. Best breakfast ever." In Alexandria, Virginia, Jack's Place offers no frills, all flavor. You'll be lucky to find a seat in this tiny shotgun diner, but there's a good reason why locals line up out the door for its signature dishes. So leave your pretensions at the door and savor that grub. On Yelp, one user says, "French toast had a hint of cinnamon, crunchy outside, warm and yummy inside." You could pay more for better ambiance, but why, when food and service are so good? Bobo's Restaurant is a no-frills, old-school breakfast diner in Tucson, Arizona, one that's famed locally for its delicious food. Bobo's legendary pancakes are held in such high esteem, in fact, that one diner told Tucson.com that they're the best in the world. They're certainly among the best in the state at the very least, as Bobo's Restaurant also landed on USA Today's list of the 10 best home-style restaurants in the city. A fan wrote on Yelp, "The pancakes are massive and worth the wait every time." In Wheaton, Maryland, Nick's Diner has been serving up classic diner breakfasts for decades, earning particular accolades for its home fries and an atmosphere you just can't fake. Regular patron Dave Carter told The Beacon, "This is Americana at its best. It's a meeting place. It's the people's diner. And it seems to deliver on flavor too." With one customer writing on Yelp, "Food was so good. I love French toast and this place didn't disappoint. Soft inside with a nice crisp. Big portions and great prices. Eggs cooked perfectly." I could go on. Out in Wisconsin, just a stone's throw from the Mississippi River, you'll find West Salem's Bar Country Diner. Opened in 2013, this unassuming rural diner has quickly become a breakfast hotspot thanks to specialties like its Eggs Benedict and French toast. One other recommendation from a Yelp reviewer, the Country Special. They write, "It was incredible. 2 scrambled eggs, hash browns, with bacon and wheat toast was a great breakfast." George's Drive-In is a classic roadside dive that has been dishing up delicious breakfasts to the people of Walsenburg, Colorado since 1977. Nowadays, it's a must-visit for foodies who like to travel off the beaten path. In their Yelp review, one diner wrote, "This is a mom and pop diner. The ambiance reflects this. The eggs were perfect and the pancakes were delicious. Who could ask for anything more?" Since 1958, Howard's Restaurant has been dishing up delicious breakfasts in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Just how old school is this place? There aren't even any menus. Just tell the cook what you want and see what happens. Howard's Restaurant is open from 5 a.m. till 3 p.m. and serves breakfast all day. So whether you want breakfast for lunch or just need some good pre-dawn grub before your big fishing trip, this is the place for you. You sometimes find great hot dogs at a gas station, but breakfast? For residents of Satsuma, Alabama, the Satsuma Chevron is a place to fuel your body as well as your car. Hidden away inside is the Satsuma Chevron Breakfast and Barbecue, which proudly proclaims itself to be the home of the breakfast gumbo, and patrons can't get enough. One writes on Yelp, "The food is amazing. Don't let the fact it's a gas station stop you from going. There is a line for a reason." Come for the pancakes, stay for the patriotism. The Stars and Stripes are the order of the day at Café USA in Bossier City, Louisiana.
At times like this, I am proud to be an American.
Situated just outside Barksdale Air Force Base, this cafe is festooned with patriotic messaging, but it's the delicious food that makes it a destination for discerning locals. On Yelp, a satisfied diner says, "Amazing breakfast experience. The food was great. We'll definitely come back to eat here again." The Cliffside Diner is pretty much exactly what its name suggests, a narrow shotgun diner barely squeezed in between a cliff and the Kentucky River. But Frankfurt's weirdest eatery also squeezes the most out of its delicious breakfast options, offering one of the most unique dining experiences around. A Yelp review reads, "We had a delicious, satisfying breakfast. The service, music, and ambiance did not disappoint. Go here." Otis Café in Lincoln City, Oregon, has been a staple on the Pacific Coast for a century. Nearly destroyed by fire in 2019, the cafe remains the go-to destination for locals and tourists alike, and especially those looking for a taste of its iconic German potatoes. Just make sure you have room if you order this twist on home fries. As one Yelp reviewer warns, beware, if you order the German potatoes, a full order is massive. Friendly's restaurants may be disappearing across the East Coast, but in Windsor, Connecticut, a superb breakfast joint has risen to take their place. The building that houses Dom's Broad Street Eatery used to be a Friendly's, and according to a poll carried out by WSFB, it's now home to the best breakfast in the state. An enthusiastic fan writes on Yelp, "The omelet was probably the best Western omelet I ever had. We are going back very soon, and my biggest problem will be, what do I try next?" Hidden in a strip mall in Salt Lake City is a rinky-dink slice of breakfast paradise, over-the-counter cafe. The food is delicious here, and there's plenty of it too, as locals rave about the huge portions. And while it's small and a little cramped, for many, it feels like home. One Yelp reviewer says, "Everything is made right there in front of you. The service is always quick, and the ambiance is like visiting your grandma's kitchen." Lou's Diner has been a Las Vegas mainstay since it opened in 1969. Located in an unassuming strip mall that sits well away from the strip, Lou's earned its reputation by serving up delicious breakfasts for generations of hungry locals. Writing on Yelp, one diner says, "Eggs cooked perfectly to order, sitting atop a bed of biscuits and gravy, over top of hash browns covered in cheese with 2 crispy strips of thick-cut bacon. Trust me when I say you need this in your life." Located in Little Rock, Arkansas, Bellwood Diner may look like little more than a few old shacks somehow cobbled together into one, but this place is secretly a sugar shack because the breakfast there is top shelf. On TripAdvisor, one fan writes, "Not much to look at, but the breakfast was excellent and very filling." Another took to Reddit to hype the food, adding, "Bellwood Diner defines hole in the wall." When you go out to brunch, you don't usually expect to end up buying a live cow. In Manhattan, Kansas, however, Sale Barn Cafe defies all expectations thanks to its weekly livestock auction. It's the perfect place to debate the merits of grass-fed versus grain-fed beef and order a delicious breakfast to prove your point. A Yelp fan writes, "The best biscuits and gravy I have ever had. Hash browns with gravy on top are also amazing." Step aside Krispy Kreme. Down in Natchez, Mississippi, there's a tiny roadside spot that puts Big Donut to shame. Here, locals queue up for some of the best handcrafted donuts money can buy. Just ask online reviewers, some of whom travel great distances to visit the donut shop. One Yelp user says, "Donuts are the best I've ever had, and we drive 2 hours to get these on occasion. We are their biggest fans." Unusually for a breakfast joint, you can't get Sunday brunch at Papa Frank's in Albuquerque, as it's closed on weekends. When it is open, though, you can get some great breakfast food. The signature breakfast burritos are a particular hit with visitors. On Yelp, one wrote, "One of the best breakfast burritos I've had, and I've had many breakfast burritos. Nice amount of heat, not too much potatoes, and they use real eggs. You can tell while eating it." Formerly known as Vidlak's Brookside Café, the Omaha Eatery, Vidlak's Family Café, recently rebranded to spotlight its family-friendly focus. But one thing that hasn't changed is its huge breakfast menu, allowing hungry diners to create their own perfect morning meal. Visitors will want to take special note of the cinnamon rolls, which one Redditor praised for being homemade and as big as your head. It's hard to miss the Capri restaurant in Boise, Idaho, mostly thanks to that iconic rooster sign. Rising above this vintage diner is a massive banner hyping the joint's famous biscuits and gravy, which the restaurant itself claims might be the best in the world. No surprise then that one Yelp reviewer said, "The loaded biscuits and gravy was in the top couple I have ever had," while another stated, "The whole meal and experience was delightful, 5-star." Nestled in the mountains of West Virginia, you'll find Grandma's Country Kitchen. Situated in Westover, just across the river from the University of West Virginia, this simple dining hall has become a breakfast nexus for locals from all walks of life. Why? Because the food is as comforting as it comes. On Yelp, a diner says, "The food was homemade, loaded with real potatoes, eggs, and bacon that tastes like it was a local pig farm." A local hotspot for decades, Harry's Café in Honolulu is known for serving classic Hawaiian breakfasts. Named a favorite old-school diner by Honolulu magazine, Harry's Café earned particular praise for its pancakes and its kimchi fried rice omelet, and the online reviews are just as glowing. As one Yelp user says, "The star of the show for me was the banana pancake. It was so fluffy and delicious." Anchoring the western terminus of the famed Kankamagus Highway is Lincoln, New Hampshire. And anchoring Lincoln's breakfast scene is Arnold's Wayside Diner. For leaf peepers and bikers heading out for a scenic drive, this vintage diner is the perfect way to start the day. Just ask fans on Yelp. One says, "The omelet was glistening with a fluffy interior stuffed with the mouth-watering corned beef hash, while the pancakes were so fluffy they would probably bounce." Q Street Diner is an unassuming little roadside joint in South Portland, Maine. Inside that vintage exterior, however, lies a whole world of culinary delights, including a breakfast sandwich that Down East magazine cited as one of the best breakfast meals in Maine. And that's just one of the dishes that have locals coming back for more. On Yelp, one Mainer says, "The pancake is one of the best I have had in a long time. Flavorful, fluffy on the inside, but had a great outer exterior. This is the hole-in-the-wall diner I have been hoping for." In Billings, Montana, Hog Wild Cafe is the kind of classic mom-and-pop diner your stomach craves. Located within shouting distance of I-90, it's the perfect breakfast stop for locals and travelers alike, with portions big enough to keep you going all day. In their Yelp review, one customer wrote, "I had a country Benedict scramble that was crazy good, and my wife had biscuits and gravy. The chunks of sausage in the gravy were bigger than most pizzas have on them. Definitely a worthwhile little secret spot for breakfast." If you want the best breakfast experience in Rhode Island, then you'll need to quite literally go to the middle of nowhere. That's because the Middle of Nowhere Diner in Exeter has developed a reputation as the go-to spot for delicious diner staples. Just don't tell anyone. As one Yelp reviewer says, this is one of those places that you kind of want to gatekeep because it's already obscenely popular and hard to get in. Located in Smyrna, Delaware, Helen's Sausage House is a classic roadside dining shack, but it's not just any old dive. Signs out front boast delicious home fries and famous sausage, and for once, there's truth in that advertising, as Helen's more than delivers on both promises. Just ask the patrons. On Yelp, one wrote, "The food is great, the home fries are always tasty and hot, the sausages are the best," and another chimed in, "Old school food and ambience, not locale, but delicious. We loved the breakfast sausage special with sausage gravy." Aside from having one of the strangest names of any restaurant around, the Mud Hole of the Black Hills offers a unique dining experience, serving breakfast on paper plates in the back of a thrift store. Though it has become a dining destination in Rapid City, South Dakota, owner Teresa Rowland has no plans to stop hawking antiques alongside her breakfasts. Speaking to Elevate Rapid City, she said, "I will not go full-blown cafe. The Mud Hole is having breakfast in the middle of a thrift store." There are plenty of places to get a good bite to eat in Alaska, but if you want a real Alaskan breakfast, you'll want to make the trip out to Coldfoot Camp Truckers Cafe in Coldfoot. Located 55 miles above the Arctic Circle, Coldfoot Camp serves breakfast to truckers on the famous Ice Road, and it's worth the trip for both the scenery and the delicious food. On Yelp, one diner says, "Biscuits and gravy were fantastic. A large portion, flaky biscuit, flavorful gravy. Couldn't imagine a better start to the morning." If you want to refuel both your soul and your 18-wheeler, P&H Truck Stop is the place you've been looking for. Located right off of I-91 in Wells River, Vermont, the food here is hearty fare for working-class folk. Nothing fancy, but everything is filling and delicious. In particular, customers rave about the homemade, freshly baked bread, which the joint also uses for its French toast. Wyoming is known as Big Sky Country. Thanks to the Silver Spur Cafe in Sheridan, however, it may just earn an even more fitting nickname, Big Breakfast Country. This tiny diner is wedged in between a gas station and an office building, so it's easy enough to miss. But you don't want to sleep on the eatery's huge portions and great flavors. On Yelp, a diner writes, "We ordered the breakfast sandwich on a biscuit and a cinnamon roll, and OMG, so good. The cinnamon roll is the size of your head. It's freaking delicious." And, well, who could argue with a review like that?